Because we're looking for the embetterment and the growth.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say it's kind of reasonable for Canada's population to be less risk averse, seeing as we have an older population? And they probably want to secure things like their pension that keeps getting put in at risk with some of these funds, investing into crypto and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, when you do have pension funds, a lot of them rely on professional fund managers to be able to do that kind of thing. And it just remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, we need to have businesses who are going to hire people, who are going to support the economy, the local economy, and have jobs for people so that there's economic betterment in your country. And that's what I believe in. And make the world a better place for the future generations. And you can do that. It's very possible to do that. Whether or not it depends on the older population. I mean, everybody's going to grow old. Everyone does. It's just a fact of life that we have to accept.
100%.
So, yeah, just come up with different businesses. Your generation's going to come up with different businesses than the generation prior to that. I mean, the boomers are coming up. They came up with a foundation. Let's just build on top of the boomer businesses.
Not only that, because of all these technological advances, we can become more innovative with all of these boomer foundations.
Yeah, it's like the boomer foundation,
Well,
that's my catchphrase.
Foundation. I think
We have a lot of potential in that space. Like you mentioned, the emerging youth of Canada, like the next generation, has a lot of potential. Now, in episode 4, you spoke about the 7 deadly sins of transition with John Hudson.
Yeah.
So, and I want some of these gems to be shared with Mr.RawFix because he's kind of inheriting some businesses from almost a boomer. He's
kind of. He's kind of in the boomer area. I'd say he's a boomer. And I'm the new gen stepping in. So for someone like me, who's receiving something from a tried and true old school type of mentality person, what are kind of go over the 7 deadly sins because I'm that person in this transition phase.
In my experience, and I was working with a lot of business owners, and I love the business owners. They are such wonderful people. And that's where I really got involved in entrepreneurialism and fighting for the entrepreneurs and doing my own business and looking at the capital markets that way. Because those entrepreneurs just keep their head down and they're just working hard. They do what they know. And if they're building a business, whether that's building homes, let's just use that because it's a common example. They know how to build their homes well, and they know how to scale those homes, and they know what they're looking for. They know what sells. They've got it figured out. They've done a lot of trial and error themselves. They know how it all works, and they've got a lot of knowledge where they've been through lots of economic cycles. They've had to weather different things. They'd had to get financing from people who weren't willing to give them financing, and then they had to make sacrifices along the way. So acknowledging that what they've been through, and then also taking what they've done really well and keeping that and proposing one change at a time. Like, don't overwhelm them. Like, we're going to redo this and this. Oh, let's take this out. Ooh, bad wallpaper. It starts even small changes like that can be overwhelming for them especially when they're giving away their baby, essentially, for adoption, which is what it really feels like when you're giving away the business or you're transitioning to the next generation. So really one change at a time is a good way to take that on. It's a tremendous opportunity if you can find someone who's been in a business for a long time and they're ready to hand it down for you. Having them work in the corporation for a few years as they get you settled and going on joint calls with some of the clients is really helpful. And you can see what they've done to maintain that relationship. Okay. Because a lot of the customers really like the way that business owner did something.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something that John was talking about, that he was saying like that's one of the deadly sins is being too hands-on.
Yeah.
And how you need to transition to leading from behind. I thought that was very powerful, how he was talking about kind of like being comfortable letting that next person in line, take the reins, but knowing when to also chime in and help them make sure it keeps that continuity that you took the time to build. So I think that's like important, and I think you're gonna have to deal with that. But I also think that's a good segue to ask another question from behind the camera. So the question here is, do you find any parallels between, or actually not do you, what parallels do you find between the boomers majority, elderly generation of Canada and handing down their businesses or their principles of, financial success and trying to liaison to the youth? What parallels do you find between that dynamic and trying to advertise Finliti to its business or potential business clients? Because they're kind of coming from like a legacy industry,
Yeah.
their tenure in that industry.
Yeah, so it's important to take what, let's say, the boomer businesses have built and to acknowledge what's been done really well and to ask them for advice, because they're really willing to share how they went through it. They're willing to share their struggles. Ask them about the struggles. Ask them how they overcame certain struggles. Ask them where they found the most opportunities to be, why they found those opportunities to be successful, to give you some coaching on dealing with clients and what happens, what am I going to run into, what are the most common issues. For Finliti, our target market is basically for the millennials and below and some early Gen Xers who want to do something different, who want to have some control over their financial lives and really get to understand themselves in the process and have that self-awareness. It's like CBT, like cognitive behavioral therapy for your finances. And we did take a psychological scientific route to be able to intervene when things are not going well. And you're like, oh, why are things not going well? I don't have good luck. I'm not great at this. I'm this. It's like, no, you are. There's just probably something that you haven't identified that's holding you back. So that's where we're starting. That's why we have the colorful images. Mm-hmm. That's why we have the financial foes and friends to get you involved in the narrative, because we grew up, let's be honest, in video games and cartoons.
Yeah.
And that's what we love. So it's
we're
that
animated
world there.
People.
Yeah, we're animated people. We live an animated life. We're all online and
we all have some sort of online character or persona at this point in this day and age.
Yeah.
So it's only prevalent.
Yeah, so there are different ways. I deal with people who are in their 60s, and some of their needs are the same too. They just want to understand what's going on, how to use the products that are available to you in the best way possible so that you achieve your goals. It's that simple. Everybody wants to know what's in it for me. How do I use this stuff? It's like your Apple device, right? Or whatever phone, and it's like all these buttons. I don't know what this does. And then all of a sudden my flashlight turns on at really inconvenient times, and I don't want that to happen. I just want a simple experience. I want to know how to use it. I want to know how to check my email. I want all my email to come to me. I want this functionality. It's utility. That's what it is. So those are the parallels. You want utility, you want community, and you want things done easier, take less time, and you want to save money or make money. That's the formula.
Name of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone has those key benefits they're looking for to add to their life. And I guess understanding people's needs and where they're at is a key to start identifying those. So that's key for sure.
It's something new for me. I'm used to going into spaces, creating something for myself. Mm-hmm. And now stepping into something that's already been finalized, created, there's foundation, there's players involved. It's a new aspect for me because now I'm having to kind of mimic someone else to understand how everything else played through in this field to now kind of become a different version of him. A younger version of him, in a sense.
Yeah. It's important to bring, because you have strengths too. So it's definitely important to bring that to the table and to know what you do well and to know what you don't do well. That's the one thing I learned about building a corporation and having limited time and resources and people, is to know what you do well and to delegate the things that you're not good at to somebody else as soon as you possibly can. Just delegate it, and whatever can be done easier and better and more efficiently, then those are good things to implement. Not all at once, but just gradually through time, is to automate some of the processes. And then you can show before and afters of how you made this improvement and how much money you saved, or with actionable results, and he'll feel really good about that, I feel. And I'm sure you're taking over a really good business, and you'll do a great job, and you're going to bring yourself to the table too, and times are changing. Like, you're going to have new customers,
100%.
and you can relate to that.
So, kind of on that topic, but more or less for you, comprising around your team. So, just like you said, gonna have to wear many hats. So, currently, how many hats are you wearing yourself?
Too many. I have way too many invisible hats. But I know my strengths. My strengths are definitely coming up with the overall vision. I do like to figure out systems and deconstruct systems and figure out how to put them back together, or add some new things to add some enhancements, because at the end of the day, I want to make my life easier as well. Yes. And I figure I've gone through struggles and different things, and it's like, why don't you just avoid those mistakes that I've made? And how about you fast track your success by learning from me and what's made me grasp these really difficult topics, or what seemed like difficult topics, and now it seems like second nature when I talk about it, and I can talk about portfolios and asset management and asset allocation, and I sound like such a boss every time.
Little flex, you know?
Yeah. And when I hear other people talk like that, I get so happy, and I'm like, oh, you're learning how to speak financial, and it's so lovely, and it's a really cool world, and it's really fun to explore all that finance has to offer. But there are some parts that are way more interesting than other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a very empowering journey to get along the financial path of literacy and sharing it with others. I come from a big family myself, so it's weird how you can have everyone coming from a household, but the level of interest on the one topic that's so important to your life is spread so differently. For example, like, I'm looking at maybe 4 out of 10 of my siblings actually would have financial literacy, and like, if they hear this, that's okay, because I'm trying to help. But yeah, like, it's just kind of crazy. So that's part of the reason why, we have platforms like this. But we were talking about transparency before, and you were talking about Finliti, and you said something about bringing your strengths and finding out what's in it for you. So to that effect, time is money, and that's why you can't wear too many hats. You have to focus on what's important, the whole 80-20 rule. But now, as a consumer, I'm going to do this survey, find out I'm an enigma, which I am, and then I'm going to say to myself the same question. So what's in it for Finliti?
Yeah, there are some things that are in the works, and they're under lock and key for now, but we will be able to make money. We're doing a freemium platform right now where you can explore the world of Finliti and get involved. And I want financial education to be accessible. And there's ways to make money the more people hop onto the platform. And that way we can hire more content providers, and I can give artistic direction on informing you about financial concepts that you want to know about. But the other thing is we can build out more of our simulations for education, because I really believe in practical education. I can't memorize things and regurgitate it and make it and understand it and take it all in. I just can't. I'll just remember stuff and then I'll forget about it 3 hours later. So the only way for me to learn is to actually apply it in some way that's going to make me retain that information, so it's useful to me. And that's where utility is really important. So in the way that we would make money is that we're hoping to eventually be able to partner with some of the large corporations, or B2B players, as they call it in the industry. So either mid-market, other fintechs, other different players, so that we can distribute our product on different sources that already exist.
Awesome. Would you try to build your platform on any of the Web3 infrastructures right now? So like the Ethereum structure, the TRC structure. Are you guys looking somewhere in that avenue down the line?
I'm definitely exploring the research aspect of it and wanting to learn more, because where everything that we have is meant to be able to fit into whatever metaverse is being embraced by the public. But a lot of changes are happening in that industry, and it's still really too early to tell. And to dedicate that much resources into this area before really seeing how it's going to play out is difficult to do at this time. Things are changing. We're looking into it and looking at exploring different ways to bring this to the world in a metaverse capacity. We called it the Finlitiverse for a reason, and we want it to be a place where people can explore and see what these different products have for them, and to understand them, and to learn about them, and to see how they fit into their world, so that you have your faction hero in this world, and then you can go and be your civilian self in the real world and make that transition. So that's just a little bit of, what do they call that? Shakespeare used it. Foreshadowing. There we go.
Yes.
Of what we're doing. So there's lots happening. Yeah.
Now, I like that you're not dedicating to any partner in terms of like these other metaverse players, and it actually allows the branding to work better, because now I can focus in on the Finliti idea. When I'm thinking about the Finlitiverse, I don't have to wait on a collaboration with another metaverse offering platform, you know. So I like that idea. But in this Finlitiverse, theoretically, let's say I get my avatar in there, and it is it's up, it's running, I'm in the simulation, I have my land. Can I add a tiny house on there?
For minimal cost.
Serious.
I had a tiny house episode for all of you viewers or listeners who don't know what the reference is. I interviewed this really nice guy from Belgium who builds tiny houses, and it was a really fun episode to talk about. I encourage you to check it out if you like.
I learned a lot myself.
But he's really good, and you should follow him on Instagram. But tiny houses are very fun and very cool, and I love that minimalist approach. I think big places freak me out, and I always feel like they're haunted in some way, or somebody's going to break in. So
I felt that.
I believe that there will be a tiny house algorithm or something that we can build in, or
NFT.
NFT maybe, I don't know. Whatever.
Royalties when I'm not in it. Just to
Yeah.
stay.
No.
Yeah, so little tiny houses would be really...
Airbnb my tiny house on
Yeah.
the metaverse.
Yeah, right? Let's come to that. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can understand the concepts in the crypto world and on blockchain, you can invest, my friends. I've looked into it, I've opened some wallets and just saw some of the different things that are going on. That stuff's not easy. That's really complicated. That's like rocket science in terms of investing and
No word of a lie.
doing your research on that. And if you can do that, heck, you can learn about the stock market, you can learn about companies. This should be a piece of cake. Just transfer those skills onto the capital markets and you're gold.
So
Very beneficial.
for full disclosure, then you're still a majority proponent of equities to crypto. You think crypto is too risky to have a large allocation in your portfolio?
I can't comment on what I put in my portfolios or what I don't. I keep an open mind. I'm a trailblazer, so I like to learn about all the new trends and what's happening. Are they appropriate for everybody? Probably not. But are they appropriate in some level or for some people who really find it interesting? Absolutely. There's so many ways that you can make money and get from A to B. And it's
True
just
story.
finding your comfort level. And we have other personality types that are more on the conservative side, and you can make a lot of money there too. It's okay. Like we have the diplomat that's more of a cautious, more somebody who may want a stable job, somebody who doesn't like risk, who gets freaked out by it, and who shuts down when they get too many choices and they just don't want to deal with it.
I've come across a couple of those in my real life experience.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. But yeah, there's so many ways to make money, and there's so many ways to lead a very fulfilling life. And if it's having, 10 children and a goat farm, that's cool. Go with that. You can make money doing that. If ESG is your thing, do that. If crypto's your thing, do that. Just look at everything responsibly and don't shut any one sector out. That's what I find. Like, have a diversity of sectors that are interesting to you, because when one isn't doing so well, another one might. So it's really good if you can find one that's not correlated with the other. For example, during this tech rally that we had, gold and commodities didn't do well at all. Interest rates start increasing, all of a sudden the commodities went up. So, you have to look at different sectors and to see what's hot or not. And some are always going to be volatile and some are not. And different risk capacity will get you to different areas of your life. Yeah.
Very well positioned response. Now, you also said it's important to find what you're comfortable with. So this has been an action-packed episode.
To the moon.
To the moon. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't let the listeners know, how did you find your comfort level with your hip-hop creation song, and who produced the beat? How did you find comfort with that beat? Where did you get it?
Oh, I did it all.
Ooh, self-production.
That's what we like to hear.
We got a super producer in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I hope that you'll remaster that or remix it for me, because that would be awesome, and I'll re-release it for 2022.
All right, looking like we have something to add to our portfolio.
Finliti
collab.
How did that happen? Did you make it on a computer, on your phone, keyboard? How did the beat itself that you put the lyrics on? How did you get your hands on that?
Okay, so I knew that I had to look through and find something that was royalty free and that I could use for kind of commercial purposes. So I think I don't remember where I got it from. I think I might have just found it on the internet, and it was just somebody who had a song or a sample on their royalty free music. And I got frustrated by everything I saw happening, and I decided to make a song about it. And I wanted people to feel valued, because this is where I was coming from. I was so frustrated because at the time I was working in a place where I wasn't able to give financial advice to people who didn't have enough net worth for me to deal with them. And I got angry at that, and that was like my ESG in me coming out in full force. And I'm like, we're going to make a song about this. This is wrong. This is so wrong.
This is everything wrong about the industry right now.
Yeah, and you are worth it. You're totally worth it and worthy of making money. And I think that I channeled that to make Finliti and to make this song that's called You're Net Worth It. And it's like a play on words, where people you're not worth it, but you are worth it, so you're net worth it. And the glorious thing about net worth is that wherever you are today, even if it's negative net worth, fine. As long as you have a reference starting point, in 5 years, you can totally turn your life around in a very big way. Today, you might not be a millionaire. In 5 years, it's possible. Success does not happen overnight. It is a day-to-day effort. And if you're consistent, and you progress and you learn, that's a secret formula. You need to learn every day.
Every day.
You're going to get stuck, and it's going to be a plateau, and then you won't know what to do. And so if you can just learn something about anything that excites you, and not junk learning that you see on Facebook and everything that everybody else is sharing, do a deep dive, learn. Learn about something that really makes you uncomfortable and you think is scary. Learn about capitalism. Learn about who started capitalism. Where did it come from? What are the foundations of it? What are the economics around it? What are the metrics around capitalism? Learning about that is something that's a really good start. Learn about lobbying. Learn about ESG. Learn about environmental causes. Different things like that.
Yeah, we have a huge passion as well for hip hop here at Everything Validated. Actually, we were almost
That's great.
With the name Hip Hop Blockchain. for the podcasts at first, but everything validated had a better ring.
It's stuck.
It's really good. It's a really good title.
But we do, have a commitment to bridging the hip hop community with finance and blockchain. So
Awesome.
I thought that was a powerful,
Awesome segue. Because I was going through Jenny on the corner office.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me scan through some episodes. And then I landed, the tiny house, because I work backwards.
Yeah.
So the tiny house hit me. I was like, oh, this is key. This is stuff I'm looking into right now for real estate. And then right after I hear the rap, I'm like, oh no, we definitely got to remix this. This is awesome. This is on brand.
Honestly,
Amazing. I'm so glad you
This
approved.
is on brand.
no, but like to that effect, and branding of rap songs, for example, because that was a hip hop rap song technically, in my opinion.
Well, thank you.
So
Thanks.
it's definitely not country
Very
hip hop.
much so.
So validating.
Yes.
Everything validated.
Everything validated over here.
But to that effect, there's another gem that you didn't vocalize. I just want to highlight that you made a rap song, but unlike rappers, you're not flashing any big gold chain like Mr. T. You said unnecessary bling is not my thing. And you went on to talk about mortgage, RSPs, and proper LTVs, which
proper
is loan to
flex.
values. So I think that's very high level bars, to be honest, because people right now, hip hop's being watered down with a lot of low level substance in the lyrics. And at the end of our show, we like to commend some new projects, and it's like getting harder and harder to find the upcoming stuff that actually has substance that we want to reverberate and tell our community about. It goes in line with our conscious efforts to put out good stuff, right? So when we make recommendations about music, I don't want it to be some demonized, materialistic music.
Yeah.
So I think that was actually like your lyrics there and throughout the whole song. Even though it was kind of, not as serious for you, I think it was high level music in a way, probably more than you think.
Musically.
Oh, wow. Like, I am seriously flattered.
Yeah, because it's all about the impression you're trying to leave. So when you write those lyrics like that, it lives on forever in the form of art. And that's why, we have this studio place to capture our great ideas and our creation, but make it live on forever because it has value. Probably more than we even know to let other people see it, right? So if someone's repeating, not good financial messages or not even good messages for their own self-image, then it could be breaking them down daily and not allow them to see that they are net worth it, So it's like activism through a song, and you did it on a hip-hop genre, so we appreciate that.
And what makes us even more happy is because that's the whole basis of hip-hop. Hip-hop was created for education, for our masses. It's just delivered in a way that we could articulate it outside of... It's more of a street paradigm. And you captured the essence perfectly. You're delivering a message from the heart that is constructive for our community, and we thank you for that.
Oh, thank
To all
you.
communities.
Oh, that means so much.
We're giving you your flowers while you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly. Round of applause for that track.
Oh, I got shivers. Thank you. That means so much.
So if anyone's giving you some ill credit, don't let it discourage you. You did the community a favor.
Oh, yay.
Because I got something I could play for my son.
Oh.
And say, take in these bars. Don't let it go. Even though he's 5, don't let that fool you. He's an investment banker.
Oh boy. Watch out for him.
Young phenom. So it's pretty obvious we're in our hip hop tie-in at this point.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're listening to M.I.A.
Yeah.
Still listen to M.I.A. to this day, so it's good to know she's still going.
Prevalent.
Is there any other new hip hop that you want to share with our platform so you can let them know what they might be missing in their playlist?
So French Montana also came out with a song. And it really spoke to me because, building a startup, you get into these spaces where everyone's just trying to punch you. And they're just trying to bring you down and do all these things. And this is probably more content for a future episode. But I did a lot of poker playing when I was younger. And so I used the poker knowledge to build systems and based my references to playing in a community for different things and what I'd like to see to learn. about new systems and how to learn about finance and to really bring that to the world. So he had like a lot of different messages in there that resonated, including my husband being from Croatia. And he mentions Croatia.
Yeah.
And I just thought that song was for me. And it just spoke to me so much. And I'm like, are you serious? And even at the beginning, he says something like, Liddy, let's get Liddy. I'm like, you gotta
Wow.
be
He's
kidding
like,
me.
let's Finliti.
Yeah.
I know, and I was just so amazed, and I was just blasting it over and over and over again in my truck, and just playing that, and then went to M.I.A. and then went back to French Montana. So
Wow.
those are the songs of the week.
Quite the
This,
set.
this sounded like a financial hip hop playlist.
Yeah.
No, but
French has a lot of those like 2-bar sections where you're like, man, that was so relatable. Like that whole album, it sounds like he's mature and he's kind of just rapping from like the lessons he's learned, you know. But he's also comfortable with the with the losses he's taken, you know. And like he had this one I'm remembering for some reason. I listened to the whole thing a couple times, but he said he's like, I think he's talking about hip hop specifically, but he's like, if you live, what he said, he's like, to live long, you gotta be evil. He's like, you be good, your life's gonna be shorter. Like
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like that, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, why is that so true for people
So
in
true.
hip hop all the time? Like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of, even if it's not your truth, it seems like something that's too popular. Like frequently people write books and they're trying to change your financial mindset because a lot of the masses of people will be like, okay, the billionaires, the trillionaires are evil people. So, you know, you would think to live long and to be fruitful and maybe financially successful, you have to be evil. But it's not necessarily true. But that being in your mindset could be an obstacle that's holding you back from even seeing your own identity as financially successful. So I think, yeah, you can find a lot of messages in music.
I found that too. They got me through some hard times. Mariah Carey, Toni Braxton, Janet Jackson all got me through some tough times when I was 13. Even Beyonce, when she was in Destiny's Child, it was just I'm like, this woman's going places. And yeah, it really does help. Like music can help you so much, and the lyrics are good. And I like the French Montana, and I like what he said. He said, "Do more, and speak less," and it's so true.
That alone speaks volumes.
It does. And says it over and over and over again. And I just really love that song. So if he's listening, thank you.
Shout out French and Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
La Musica, the Harry Fraud.
Classic. What about you, RawFix?
My playlist this week, well, as funny as it is, I'm still on my... I'm on a bridge. I'm still on my Burna Boy, my Love Damina, because I could openly say the first 5 tracks really, really speak to where my mindset is. And he has one track on there which everyone in my household hates me at this point for it, called Cloak and Dagger. And to me, that...
The rhythm is crazy.
The rhythm's crazy. It's almost like a mantra. It's crazy. I'm hearing it in my head and I'm getting goosebumps. It's how I choose to live life because just in the first chorus, praying that they're praying we fall and stagger. That's why I move with cloak and dagger. So always knowing I'm on my guard. My sword and shield is with me at all given times. I know I'm protected. I know I'm good. And the fact that everyone is praying against me just lets me know I'm doing something correctly. I'm on some sort of path that people are now seeing. I'm on this way of elevation. So I just always have to make sure my guard is up. Then there's Rema, Soundgasm. It's for me, it's I like things that are kind of jazzy but peaceful, so it's like a meditation piece for me. As funny as it is, majority of the things I'm listening to, it's not in English at all. I'm heavy in ballet funk, which is like a Brazilian type of instrumentation. And it's like kind of just fun, uplifting stuff. So all the things that I'm listening to up there is just to keep the energy going, keep smiles happy, top-down music, you know?
And you're not alone, right? Because it's like Drake and Beyonce dropping these predominantly dance
Dance
albums.
albums.
So we're getting more upbeat, or at least we're trying to have a upbeat summer. So, or that's what they're trying to impress upon us. But for me, like, I've been kind of more comfortable with where I'm at recently because a lot of change has been happening. And, you know, summer is a good time to feel good. So I've been listening to the Rod Wave. And, you know, he's known for like sad music, kind of singing music. I don't know how to describe it.
Emotional music.
Yeah, but
Church.
you know, you get those Florida beats, so it's kind of has a certain tempo to it anyway. And I like that. I like the vulnerability, you know, because it's like I could go home and listen to like 50 Cent or like completely get grungy, but I feel like that's my natural mindset. So like when I listen to music, I like to listen to like more ambient, you know, softer stuff. So yeah, that Rod Wave one is slapping right now. And OMB Peasy put out a project too. It's good to see him back. And it sounds like he got some backing. Like
His quality sounds
he
better.
He has a new engineer.
He's
morphed into the little Dirk algorithm now. He's like street rap, auto tune, high level features. Like he's going up. So we'll see what
Very
happens
smart,
next.
very smart.
Yeah, Peasy. You know, check him out.
Yeah, I'd love to get your playlist.
Oh, by all means. One to
Yeah.
get your money up and one to calm you down after a long day at work, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The fear versus greed.
That
Playlist.
actually might have to be that.
That's fire.
You heard it first.
Innovation happens here.
Did you have any lasting messages about Finliti or yourself you want to leave with everything validated?
Well, thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this awesome show. It's so special.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed it. I mean, I could just be here for hours just talking about all these things. And if you'd like to check out Finliti and find out what your investor profile is, please visit our website at finliti.com. It's that simple. And then you can log in, and we even have a simulation where you can go in and learn about investing, some of the basics. And we have some videos there. We made it humorous so that you can enjoy learning about finance if you're just getting started. You can break down the jargon. So that's that. And I welcome any feedback as well. You can send an email from the website, and happy to hear your thoughts.
I
So-
also noticed you guys also got a Facebook community going on.
Oh, yeah, we do. We have a Facebook. Thank you. We have a Facebook group, and you can actually interact with me directly on there because I'm always giving answers to our community. So everybody's allowed to participate, and as long as you're not spamming, and you can ask a question about finances of any capacity, and that's welcome there, and you'll get responses from the community in the group. We're mostly North American, so if you're in the US or Canada, then you're welcome to take part in that, and there's no judgment, and anyone who's mean will get called out. So so don't do that, and don't be a troll.
Don't validate that kind of
Yeah.
behavior.
We don't validate trolling. So if you're a nice person and you want to learn about finance in a fun way, you want to feel welcome, please join us. It's Finliti, Learn to Invest for Beginners, and it's a group on Facebook. The other thing, we have a Discord community that we're working on. It's also Finliti. You can join us there. And I'm on TikTok where I'm giving financial tips, and you're welcome to follow me. Also, it's at Finliti World. And we're on Twitter, and I'm the one on Twitter. I'm behind the scenes, so you will actually, you will hear directly from me. So that's what I've got going on right now. YouTube is to follow soon.
Beautiful. This has been fantastic. High level. Most of the things that we shared here. We're going to have some links in the description, especially for the Finliti website. I'm highly encouraging everyone, please take this survey because I need to find more of you out there. I need to see what other personalities there are. I'm gonna start wearing my commander badge as if it's like literally my name tag.
Yeah, we have some T-shirts that
See?
have the profile.
Merch.
Yeah, merch. It's all about merch and making it fun. And yeah, wouldn't it be awesome to see another commander or another enigma or on the street, and you just be like, I know you. I know you actually really well because you're just like me.
please, 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 you already know the deal. Follow us at Everything Validated on every platform, on IG, on Twitter, TikTok, Everything Validated, Discord, Reddit. We're here. We're here! And, guys, I know you guys love freebies.
Yeah.
And you know how it gets down. So I got something for you. If you made it this far, I need to put you on some gems. So right now, if you go onto the Finliti website and you fill out the personality survey to figure out what you are, when you get your confirmation, I want you to take a screenshot. Once you take that screenshot, I want you to send it. When you send it, you'll get yourself in line to possibly win some actual Finliti merch. Right now we're throwing up the Finliti hat, and this is only coming to you if you follow through. You have to screenshot your email confirmation that shows that you completed the survey. Then you must send it to everythingvalidated@gmail.com. That way, I know no one's cheating, because we know you out there. We know how it goes. We know how the streets work.
Always cutting corners.
You know? We're trying to put you on better path. There's no more cutting corners out here. So if you want proper Finliti merch, here's your chance to win it.
And if that's too much work, we have a free giveaway for you as well every week.
You're lucky the validated voice just validated that for you guys.
Yeah, so the journey doesn't stop there. So once you find out your faction guide and you have the chance of winning some Finliti merchandise, every week I break down my team everything that's happening in the market. So we look at all the markets. So we look at the stock market, we look at crypto, we look at the global markets, and we tell you what's happening. And then you also get some faction action for your special faction. So every week, you don't have to even look at the research. We're going to send you research to do, and we're going to send you a challenge to do as well, so that you can actually gradually increase your knowledge without even trying. So when you go and read the financial headlines, you're going to actually know what they mean, and then you'll be like, aha, okay, this is what they're talking about. And then you'll be so excited because you'll actually understand and you'll be able to process that information and you'll be able to use it to make money. It's such a win-win-win that winning all the time is just so exciting, and you will go to bed every single night as a winner, and that's what you want to do.
As the consumer, how would I sign up for this?
So you can go to our website and you'll see right on there that there's a little pop-up that will allow you to sign up for the newsletter. And if you take the survey, you'll get that custom faction action. And that part is really useful for you as an investor. No matter what level you're at, it's still some refreshers and things that you should know. And from my industry experience, that can really help you go a long way. And to think critically and to think through all that nonsense so that you can get to the bottom of it, where the profit lies for you.
Please make sure you follow, you like, you subscribe, you keep everything relevant so we could keep you relevant, so we could keep you educated, so we could bring you more lovely guests like this. And I know you love the gems going on. So you already know what to do. Any constructive feedback, any constructive criticism, feel free to hit it in the comment section. We check it all. We do it all. But that's our time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Again, this was Everything Validated. Peace.
Bye, financial friends.